Hi everyone, it's Shanna with Shanna Sweets. Thank you so much for joining me for this month's sweet treat video. This month I am featuring Pretty Pumpkins. This is like the perfect October stamp set and I just absolutely love it. It is one that I did a retreat with last month and I am so excited that she chose this stamp set because I have absolutely fallen in love with it. If you want to know what a sweet treat is my free card kit that you get for purchasing over $25 with me. The host code is listed down below, and if you use that during the month of October, you get this little package for 2 cards to you in the mail as a thank you gift from me. Now the tutorial is free, and you're welcome to watch this video and make the card yourself if you'd like. But if you purchase from me, I'll send you this little package as a thank you. These are super easy and they're like awesome. This does come as a bundle and you get this beautiful decorative die, and I love this little pumpkin too. And as you see, I'm using cork, which is like my favorite way to do it. So let's start with the first one. And this one here, we'll just do it since it's on top, is using thick basic white, and I'm going to use 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to fold it in half. Got a little bone folder here. And then I'm using some gold vellum. And there's like one side that's a little shinier, one that's dull. I'm going to put the shiny side up. This is 4 by 5.25, and then I've got a 3 3/4 white by 5, and I just used liquid glue, so I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back side of my white. Okay, and I'm going to put that down on the vellum. Okay, I'm going to do this before I put the vellum down, so then that way I'm not putting any glue on my edge, because see, now I can see the back side here. Then that can go down and I don't risk getting glue on my vellum that's gonna stick out on the edge. All right, then you have 3 pieces of DSP. We have this is from Expressions with Ink. We have this dark green, and this one here is 3 by 1 3/4. So this piece is going to go in my top right hand corner. Leave a little bit of a border. Okay, then you have kind of what I'm calling rustic. I don't know really what color that is. I think it's supposed to be, I think it says on the package, but it is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. I'm going to try to line the edges up, and then we have another one of that green that's 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and it's going to go down here at the bottom. Okay, that leaves us this open square. I'm using the same colors for both stamp sets, Cajun Craze and Pumpkin Pie. So I'm going to use the Cajun Craze, and I'm using the If Friends Were Pumpkins, I'd Pick You. And I'm going to stamp that towards the bottom. Right there. Now, you have two pieces in your kit. You have a label, so if you wanted to stamp something else because you don't have this stamp set, you can stamp it and put it right there. Or you can do the pumpkins, which is what I'm going to do, of course. So I stamped my pumpkins in the pumpkin pie. So I'm going to ink them up. Because I have the die cut already cut out, I'm going to put my stamp upside down. And then turn my die upside down. And then just line it up. Give it a little smush. And there we go. Now this time I'm going to color with some colored pencils. I have both sets. There's 2 different sets of colored pencils. And so I just chose some colors out of that. And I'm going to use pumpkin pie for my big pumpkin. You can use the blends if you'd like, or you can use, I guess you can use the Stampin' Write markers. I just was wanting to use something a little different this time. And if you color a little darker, then you can get a little shading. So that's the nice thing about pencils. You can do a little bit. Then we have the early espresso for the stems. I'm going to do all my stems the same there. And this one's a crushed curry. And then I have Cajun Craze. Just gets a little bit more depth here for these pumpkins. And then I thought I had the green out. Old Olive for the leaves. All right, then that's done. Then we can just grab our card and of course some dimensionals. And plop our pumpkins just right there in the center. And then I'm giving you a whole row of gilded gems, so that way you can just choose whatever size you want. And there we go. That is the first card. Now, card number 2, super simple also. You have Thick Very Vanilla, and 8.5 by 5.5, of course, folded in half. Then you'll see a piece of 4 by 5.25 of DSP. You can choose the other side if you want. This side is kind of blackberry with some gold, but I'm going to use this side. Then you'll see a label. This label has been scored. What I did was scored it about 5/8 in, but that's from this point to this point, okay? So just like that. But before we put it on the paper, we're going to take this decorative pumpkin and we're going to ink it up in the Cajun Craze. And you have to make sure you ink that really well because of all the decorative. All right, and then I'm going to ink it as far as I can in this open space that is the before, and make sure you give it a good smush. All right, and then that will be right there. Okay, and then you want a really good, I'm going to use some tear tape just because I want to make sure I have good adhesive. So I want to put it on the inside. If I can get a hold of it. I have no fingernails, so. All right, and then I'm going to just put it at the bottom of my DSP, just, all right, just like that. I got a little piece here left, so I'm gonna just put that like that. So now I'm gonna take some glue and put this down on my card front. Okay. Okay, so we have a small label right here, and we're going to ink up You're So Thankful For You in pumpkin pie. Okay, have that ready. Okay, now move my inks out of the way. So here is, make sure this is down good. Okay. You have this pumpkin pie pumpkin, and take off the backing. Most of your little bits should come off, but some of them might not, so you can poke them out if they don't. Okay, so you want this to be to the left and a little bit above. Give it a good smush. Then you have a little cork pumpkin. Going to put some wet glue on him, and he's going to kind of be even with and sometimes let's make sure the wet glue oozed out. Then I have some glue dots. They have a dark green, kind of evergreen shimmer here. That one is going to go on our pumpkin on the front here. And then you have a light one, and that one is going to, it will tuck around, because he's got a hole here, so it will tuck around the stem on your cork. Okay, and then take your twine and make a bow, and your twine is plenty big enough for however large of a bow you want. And take another glue dot, and these glue dots are usually pretty big for the twine, so I just kind of squish it so it doesn't stick out too much, and put that twine like that, and then trim it. Take some dimensionals to my sentiment, and then tuck your sentiment at the top, and there you go. Now we have 4 cards. That's this month's sweet treat. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you will love this stamp set as much as I did for all your fall cards. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you will tell your friends about my rewards program and participate in using the host code this month. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.